ratios and unit rates and comparing different amounts of things. So we're going to make sure we're using equivalent ratios as we are doing that. So our first problem says that in recipe A, it's asking how many cups of bran are needed if you have 10 cups of wheat flour. So we can see our basic ratio here is 5 wheat to 7 bran. Then it's asking us to go to 10 wheat flour, how many bran? So we can ask ourselves, how do we get from 5 to 10? Well, we times by 2. So we want to do the same thing over here and do 7 times 2 will tell us how much bran if we use 10 cups of wheat flour. Number 2 has recipe B, and this time it's asking if we have 15 cups of bran. Sorry, I think I have these words right here wrong. This should be wheat flour. So how much wheat flour do we need if we have 15 cups of bran? So our basic ratio is 2 to 3. So how do we ask ourselves, how do we get from 3 to 15? Well, we times that by 5. So we need to do the same thing on this side here. Times 2 by 5 will give us how much wheat flour we need. Number 3 is asking us to compare those two recipes. Which recipe contains more bran if they have the same amount of wheat flour? So in recipe A, the wheat to bran was 5 to 7. In recipe B, wheat to bran was 2 to 3. So we need to make the wheat be the same. So one easy way to do that is just to multiply the wheat and create a common factor or a common multiple. So 2 times 5 is 10. So then I'm asking myself, how do I get from 5 to 10? Well, I times by 2. So we'll put 2 times 7 here. And then we'll ask ourselves, how did we get from 2 to 10? Well, we times by 5. So we'll do 3 times 5 and put that here. And then we can see which one we want more bran. So look and see which one has more, recipe A or recipe B. Number 4 gives us this proportion. Now, remember, we cannot cross reduce through an equal sign. We can reduce up and down, but there's nothing that can go into 1 and 8. There's nothing that can go equally into J and 57. So we're going to cross multiply and divide. So this problem we have here is 57 times 1. And then we're going to divide by 8. Will give us the answer to J. Number 5 is converting kilometers to meters. So that is a King Henry doesn't usually drink chocolate milk problem. So what we'll do is start here at our kilometers and move over to the meters. 1, 2, 3 places to the right. So notice your decimal is here. So we need to move 1, 2, 3 places to the right, and we fill in these extra bubbles with zeros. Number 6 says that in an elementary school, 25% of the 252 students ride a bus to school each day. How many students ride the bus to school? So looking here, we know we're talking about percents. Remember, percents are always out of 100. This is the total of kids. 100 is also a total. So we've got totals on the bottom and we've got our part on the top. So we know that if we have 25% out of the total 100, we're looking for how many kids or students ride the bus out of the total of 252 students. So our totals match up, our parts match up. So one helpful thing to make your problem easier is going to be to simplify ahead of time. So I know 25 is like quarters and can go into 100. So 25 divided by 25 is 1. If I think quarters, 25, 50, 75, $1, that's 4 here. So now my problem is a lot easier. So I'm going to cross multiply 252 times 1, and then we're going to divide by 4. Will tell us how many students ride the bus each day. Okay, number 8 asks, what is 15% of 40? So here we have percent, so 15 out of 100 always. So we're going to set up that problem with our part on the top, our total on the bottom. So we've got 15% of 40. And we're looking for what number is 15%. These ones go together. Our totals go on the bottom. So I'm going to simplify first. So I know that 5 goes into 15 3 times. 5 goes into 100 20 times. So we need to do 3 times 40. And then we're going to divide that number by 20. Will tell us what is 15%. Number 9 says that a metal fabrication company has an automated milling machine that can mill 90 pounds of steel in 5 hours. So we are comparing pounds to hours. So we have 90 pounds that can be done in 5 hours. At that same rate, how many pounds, so we're looking for pounds, can be done if it operates continuously for 24 hours. So you can see all of our hours match up, all of the pounds match up. So we'll want to simplify first. So 5 can go into 90 and 5. It goes into 90 18 times, and it goes into 5 1 time. So now we can do 18 times 24, and then we will divide that by 1. Hey, we've got purple and orange sand are mixed together in a ratio of 4 to 5. So same order, purple came first, orange came second. If the mixture, so this word right here tells me that they just put all of this together. So if I add 4 purple and 5 orange, the mixture makes 9 total. So the mixture contains 18 cups of sand all together. We're talking about a total here. How many cups of orange were used? So we're going to compare orange to the total mixture. So orange has 5 to start, and the total mixture has 9. And then we're looking for orange if we have a total of 18. So we'll want to multiply 5 times 18 and divide that by 9 will tell me how much orange sand I used here. Number 11 says that on a baseball field, the distance from home plate to the fence in the center is 390 feet. We need to convert that to yards. So we have 390 feet, and we want to know how many yards that is. So if you remember, there are 3 feet in every 1 yard. We always want to take our conversion down to 1 unit rate. So we can multiply here. We've got 390 times 1, and then we need to divide that by 3. Will tell me how many yards that fence is away from home plate. Number 12, last one today, says that in a small company, 25 of 125 employees contribute extra income to a retirement fund. So we know we've got our part, we know we have our total, 25 out of 125 people. What percent, so we're looking for the percent, we're looking for the piece, out of 100 contribute to their retirement fund. So I can think quarters here. 25 divided by 25 is 1. 125 divided by 25 is 5. So now I can do 1 times 100. And we can divide that by 5. And that will tell us what percent of employees contribute to their retirement fund.